Lights, camera, action. That's right. What do you want to read? We don't want to read I Love My Mama. We already read that. Let's try Wanda and the Frogs by Barbara Azor. I haven't read this one yet, so it could be interesting. Oh, cool. It says, it's a note from the author. It says, For Slave Lake Children, from Barbara Igor. I wonder where this lady's from. Cool.
Frogs.
Oh, it's from Ontario. No, it's from Pittsburgh. Weird. She must have been on a weird tour. Oh, no. From the government of Canada. All right. She got government money to write children's books. That sounds like fun. Something wonderful had happened. Wanda could hear it in the warm sun on her skin. She could hear...
What's that?
What is it?
It's a puddle.
What's in it? Tadpoles.
Tadpoles.
They're baby frogs. She could hear it rushing creek and smell it in the May blossoms. Spring had come. Walking home from school, Wanda came across a puddle beside the ravine. It had been left by melting snow.
What's that?
That's a creek. Wriggling black tadpoles.
Is it baby frogs in the creek?
No, they're in the puddle. Have been thrashing about in shallow water. The next morning, Wanda found her sand pail in the garage and, on the way to school, stopped in the puddle. It was smaller now. Wanda gently scooped some of the tadpoles into her pail, very slowly, so the water wouldn't spill. She walked to school. The teacher was surprised when Wanda handed her a pail of tadpoles. Oh my, peering into the pail. Have you brought them for a visit? We'll have to find an aquarium to put them in. The teacher looked scared. Yeah, I don't think this lady was very good at drawing faces. The teacher went to the science storage room and found an aquarium just the right size. From the janitor's office, she borrowed an empty ice cream bucket with a lid and carried them back to the classroom. At recess, she took the ice cream bucket to the creek and brought back some water, some pondweed, and 2 large rocks. Then she went to the pet store to buy some tadpole food. Wanda gently poured the water and the tadpoles into the aquarium. The other children gathered around. The teacher announced, We're going to take care of the tadpoles until they become frogs. The next few days, the teacher taught children about frogs. Wanda felt proud when the teacher said, It's a good thing Wanda found these tadpoles. They would have died and the puddle dried. Wanda was made the tadpole monitor. She had to keep the children in order when they were standing around the aquarium and made sure the tadpoles were fed. Everyone had a chance to watch. The weeks passed, and gradually the tadpoles turned into froglets. They grew hind legs, then front legs, then their tails began to shrink.
Oh, there's
Soon,
baby frogs.
that's right. Soon tiny frogs were hiding in the water weeds and climbing on the rocks. The teacher read The Princess and the Frog to the class. Sarah Jane asked, Will our frogs change to princess if we kiss them?
What's that?
That's a frog that's or a tadpole turning into a frog. On Friday morning, the teacher said to the children, Before you go home today, say goodbye to the frogs. After school, I'm taking them to the creek where there are lots of bugs for them to eat. All the children were sad. Wanda was miserable. She wanted to keep the frogs. When the last bell rang, the children gathered their aquarium and said their goodbyes. Wanda waited till the very last child had left and then said to the teacher, Miss? Yes, Wanda. Can I take some of the frogs home? Oh, I don't know, Wanda.
What's that?
Those are garbage on the floor. Oh, I don't know, Wanda. Will your mother let you keep frogs at home?
What's that?
It's a pencil. You'll have to feed them more now. I will. Thinking of all the flies and spiders her mother hated having in the house. The frogs eat them for her. Well, I suppose you did find them in the first place. Okay, I'll put a rock and some water and some frogs in an ice cream bucket. Wanda slowly carried the frogs home and put them straight upstairs to her room.
It's following the dog. Who's she going?
She's got frogs in her bucket. After supper, she removed the lid from the bucket so the frogs could see up to her bedroom. She lives upstairs, so the frogs could see and breathe. During the night, the frogs discovered they can climb the rock and leap out of the top of the bucket. The other frogs soon followed. Across the bedroom they went, out the door, along the hallway, plop, 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 down the stairs. She's got a very messy room, all the dolls and toys under her bed.
Then there's paint. There's a paint.
Yeah.
Then there's a dog sleeping. Then he got the present. Then he got so happy. There's a ball, then there's a pencil.
And slippers and a doll. Wanda woke the next morning to the sound of screaming coming up from the kitchen. She leapt out of the bed and rushed into the hallway. Her father was already running down the stairs. Mother was standing in the doorway.
Look.
Oh, she's standing at the stairs. Mother was standing in the kitchen doorway, still screaming.
Oh, he got the dog. Look.
That's a wiener dog. There's a frog in the sink, she shrieked. Daddy and Wanda peered in. So there is, said Daddy. Just then a second frog appeared on the kitchen table, and a third from behind the coffee pot. Soon there were frogs leaping all over the kitchen. Please get rid of them, Mother cried. Putting his arm around Mother, Daddy looked at Wanda and winked. I think I know where they came from, he said. He gently led Wanda's mother out of the kitchen. You go back to bed. Wanda and I will take care of the frogs. Daddy fetched a cardboard box from the garage, punched some holes in the lid. The frogs hid, hopped, and leapt all over the kitchen. Wanda and Daddy crawled after them, colliding with each other. Finally, every last frog was caught and popped in the box. Daddy closed the lid, and Wanda could hear the frogs jumping inside. Now, Wanda, he said, taking her by the hand, let's get dressed and take these frogs to the creek where they belong.
There's a frog on the boat. He got one. That's Daddy's boots, and then there's her boots.
That's right. Frogs don't like living in houses. They'll be much happier at the creek. Okay, said Wanda. I'll be able to visit them, won't I? Of course, said Daddy. Perhaps this summer we can build a pond in the garden, and one of your frog friends might come and visit.
I want the dog one.
No, Princess. We're done.
Are we done?
It's late.